Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up quote reminders for Xero. Now, natively, unfortunately, Xero doesn't remind your customers when you send quotes and they expire. So you can do that with a very popular Xero add-on called Paidnice, which can help you do that. Now, Paidnice is an accounts receivable tool that can do other things like email reminders, late fees, discounts, statements, send-offs, etc., and automate those things that you might typically want to do. Now, the quote reminders is what we're going to do here. So once you've connected your account to Xero, to Paidnice, you'll be presented with different groups. You're going to start with the default group with all your customers in it. You can obviously isolate customers to put them out if you like. And there's other videos showing you how to do that. But this one, I'm going to show you how to do the quote reminder. So here you're going to set up an add new automation policy. And right here, we're going to set a quote email. So we're going to click that one, and we're going to set this one up to do it on our quote expiry. So we're going to go quote expiry email reminder. Okay, so you can do other ones. So you could do day before, day after, or you could do day before, so many days after. Or you could do day after, perhaps when you issued it and things like this, depending on how you sort of like to issue your reminders and how you like them to have them expire. So that you can kind of tailor how they go out. So an example is here, quote expiry reminder. We can say when to send this email. We want to send this one, examples, it could be 3 days before the expiry. Or it could be 3 days after the issue date, right, of the quote. So you can do things like this. But we want to do this on the expiry date. So we're going to go on the expiry date. So there. Now, we can also select our time that we send it. So maybe like 5 o'clock during the day, right? Business hours kind of thing. We could do that. With this one, I'm doing this a little bit later, so I'm going to have to push that one a little bit further back. That's fine. And then we also get our email template that we can send that actually goes to the client for them to accept or decline or to remind them about the quote. So we can create as many of these as you like, but you're going to be given a sample one there that you can use. So you can click edit there, and it will basically take you to the existing template that we've already got set up in the system for you to be able to do this. And in here, you can kind of edit everything. So subject line, the actual content of the email. You can include different merge tags there that include different information about the quote, expiry date, etc., etc. You can also attach files, so things like maybe like your terms of engagement and like payment terms or other really like important information that typically stays the same every time you send a quote. You can include that with each of these reminders that go out, and so you can include that there, you upload that there, and you upload that as an attached file. And no matter what the different quote is, it will go out with that particular reminder. You save the template. Things like the logo, you can edit that in the organization settings. So you can come down here and just upload your logo there. Now, you'll see here we've got basically our pre-configured policy there for our quote. And we can see it's basically set up. So you can see it's going out. Well, we want it to go on the due date, so on the expiry date. And I needed to do it a bit later tonight. And there we go. So that's cool. So that's set up now, and you can see that on the expiry date is when that's going to go up, and it's going to go out at 1300 hours. So you can set that to be any other time that you'd like. Now, once you create a quote inside of Xero, and it's sort of marked out, issue dates, let's have a look. Also, we might need to edit this one, revise. We do need to give it let's say 14 days time. Yeah, so I'll update that. So here's our quote in our system. There it is there. Now I'll go back to Paidnice to see it there. Now, typically in this here, you'll see that in the actions here, especially if you've got a lot of outstanding quotes, you'll see them sit there. If not, then that's okay. It's probably, I've just created it, so we need to wait for it to sync a little bit. Let's go over to this and perhaps force this sync now. So we can see our quotes actually come through there. Now I've forced that sync, and you can you can see the quote was imported and everything else. So you can kind of use this to manage the sort of different quote acceptances and declines and everything else that you have there in the little quote module there. Now, if we go back over here, I should be able to also see this reminder. Why is it not? I'm going to set up another one. Reminder. Expiry date. Great. Yeah, here it is. So you can see that's kind of, it's appeared there in terms of like the kind of where it's going to go in the future, right? So we'll get rid of that old one that we've got two of them now, but that's fine. Okay, so we've got our two reminders there. So you can see them in the future in this drafts form here. So you can see when it's actually scheduled to go out, which is essentially the schedulable date of the reminder itself. Now you can also click onto this to approve it to go out if you wanted to do that, but obviously you probably don't want to do that for every single one of those. So you would turn this onto an on mode, right? So we'd go on mode, which is essentially automatic mode, pre-approval mode. In other words, it's scheduled, it's going to go out whenever. You can sort of see that the other one I've done has moved over there now. So it's gone from this other one I had set up in the draft. But this is where you kind of approve actions. This is more useful for things like late charges and other things. Whereas this has now moved it over here and it's gonna send it out. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to force it to go right now to send it to my email. So we'll do that, action that, and that has done it. Cool. Actioned it. It's sent that expire reminder to me, or John Henderson, or me. And we should see that in our email inbox. Here it is. Your quote from Demo Company will expire soon. And there you go. There's my logo and everything else. And then I can, then it's asking me to go accept or decline this quote now. So we'll click on that. And what that's going to do is, I mean, this is also included in the package, and you also don't have to include it if you don't want. It includes a customer portal like you see here. Now, you can include your own brand in this portal, as you can see. So you can you replace that with the hexagon logo that I had before, or your own. And you can kind of see the quote and everything else inside of it. Customer can decline it. Download the invoice. Download the PDF. They could even potentially go and look at other quotes that they're outstanding, maybe even other invoices, etc. But this is where they can accept or decline it. So then we can go accept because we want to do that. Cool. I like that. I'm happy with that one. Accept this one. And what that's going to do is that's going to sync everything back into Xero here. It's going to move it actually over to the accepted one. Boop. There it is. It's accepted. And it's also going to be sitting over in the one in Paidnice. As you can see, it's not there anymore. It's sitting here, and the quote has been accepted, and we're all happy with that. We can view it in the Xero customer portal or our customer portal there. So that's how quote expiry reminders work with Paidnice. So really easy to set up, really easy to customize. You can also have those emails come from your own custom domain as well, in terms of putting them in there. And then you can also use that for other reminders if you wanted to do that, or even potentially sending things like customer statements, or charging late fees, sending SMSs, doing escalations, any other accounts receivable function. But if you just want it for quotes, then that works really, really well. If you have any other questions, please let me know, and we'll be more than happy to help. Thanks.